Travis Wayne Goodsell. I'm going to see if I can get in 2 episodes of the final season of Castle before I call it a day. Tomorrow is President's Day, so we'll see what time I have available for stuff. This one, as I hope something in the title will help give you an idea, is about Joseph Smith Sr. In section 124 of the Doctrine and Covenants, in verse 124, so 124, this is a long one. Hang on with me as I take care of some closing day business. Or would you rather have some elevator music like To Hell with the Devil? Remember that Christian band? That was a pretty awesome song. Gotta love Christianity for doing some real rockin' music, teaching about the evils of Mormonism at the same time. That one's about finished in 15 seconds too. First, I give unto you Hiram Smith to be a patriarch unto you, to hold the sealing blessings of my church. Sealing blessings? Isn't that the keys of Elijah? That's interesting, because the keys of Elijah and the keys of Moses were given in the Kirtland Temple in 1836. Even the Holy Spirit of promise, whereby ye are sealed up unto the day of redemption, that ye may not fall, notwithstanding the hour of temptation that may come upon you. I'll let you ponder on that one for a moment as I take care of this. I give unto you my servant Joseph to be a presiding elder over all my church, to be a translator, revelator, a seer, and a prophet. Where does he... Because he does say patriarch. Where was that? Would be back a ways, wouldn't it? Let's do it quicker by taking out translator from the search. Alright. 2494. That's how far back I needed to go. Alrighty, so hold on again. That one, isn't that nice? See, somebody busted the merge sign outside, out front, and so the city never bothered to replace it. And so as a result, people that either forget or are unfamiliar with this, the right lane is for turning right. And when people finally realize they've got to merge back over to the left lane in order to keep going, that's when you get car accidents at that location, and people merging and cutting people off, or speeding to make sure people don't cut them off. real mess. Messer splits. Alright, so let's do. Okay, so I'm on episode 7. Alrighty. I think I might be able to finally get back to watching NCIS where I left off in season 7 or 15. Okay, so it's talking about Hiram in verse 91, that my servant Hiram may take the office of priesthood and patriarch, which was appointed unto him by his father by blessing and also by right. Now, if you're unfamiliar, Joseph Smith Sr. died in 1840, I believe. This is 1841, so maybe he died in 1840. I can Google search it, I guess. Find out real quick. Joseph Smith Sr. 1840, yeah, September 14th. Alrighty. And so here's others, not just patriarch. And from this time forth, in verse 94, I appoint unto him that he may be a prophet and a seer and a revelator unto my church. Ever notice in all of the loyalty oath sustaining votes that the church has in conferences, and you can fact check me, they're having a conference this April. Nobody dares to molest or make afraid, so you're going to hear it for yourselves. Pay attention to Nelson and the rest of the prophets, seers, and revelators. Nelson's missing something. Wonder what that is. Kimball took away the patriarch. Get out of here. Don't want no literal descendant of the Smith family. Gone. And so you notice that Hiram takes over as patriarch when Smith Sr. dies. But you notice what else is going on here. Joseph and Hiram are prophets, seers, and revelators. Joseph is translator, Hiram is patriarch. So if Hiram was prophet, seer, revelator, and patriarch, what was Senior? Senior was a prophet, seer, revelator, and patriarch. So why are women writing books about how much of a bum and a drunk and an anti-religious person Senior was? As she tries to promote Lucy Mack above what Lucy Mack actually was. Still, the woman, the mother, and matriarch. But is it worth defaming Senior illegitimately? Senior was in the religion. He was right there with Joseph as a prophet, seer, and revelator. With patriarch. At least when Elijah gave the keys in 1836 in the Kirtland Temple, dedicated on March 17th, if you caught that video the other day. Alright, so we are in. I'm not done with you yet. Oh, the weather outside's delightful, but I'm mighty frightful. Anybody catch this? Senior had an important role in the church, and yet the current church has sort of kept him out of the equation. We are left unknown as to what Smith Sr. and Lucy Mack were up to. We just assume, oh yeah, they attended church and listened to Joseph, their son. Are you sure? Because those of you who know that Joseph Smith is not the author of the Book of Mormon, that Sidney Rigdon wrote the Book of Mormon, except for the 116 pages. Somebody else wrote that, and it just happens to correspond with Smith Sr.'s New Israelite, Jewish mystical New Israelite religion from the Congregationalists in Vermont. Isn't that a coincidence? Along with his dreams that he had about the Tree of Life. Huh. That's curious. I wonder if Senior had a major role with the Book of Mormon. Anybody else here? I'm wasting too much time going back and forth and trying to do the video at the same time. So, we'll finish the video and get back to this. That's just part of the pieces of the puzzle that I've been telling you you have to put together to see the bigger picture. So when you go to the other videos and you hear me talk about how Senior was instrumental in Canandaigua with William Morgan and Junior was the one who was there, Hiram never has a calling. Not until here, 1841. Did you know that? I don't find him anywhere until then. It's 26 times. In section 11, behold, thou art Hiram, my son. My son? It took Joseph a longer period of time before being called son. I had an institute teacher go over this. He thought he was being clever in identifying the manner in which the Lord was referring to Joseph Jr. But seek the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added according to that which is just. Build upon my rock. Deny not the spirit of revelation. Just a patriarchal blessing. Huh. Section 23, behold, I speak unto you, Hiram, a few words, for thou art also under no condemnation. Not like thy younger brother Joseph, who was under condemnation for losing the 116 pages. Thy heart is opened and thy tongue loosed, and thy calling is to exhortation, to strengthen the church. That's it. See, Samuel's not under condemnation. Samuel was put in the administrative quorum of 12. Huh. Why him, Daddy? Here's 52. Yeah, 52. Also unto my servant John Murdoch. And I kind of wonder if he's the ancestor of Leanne Murdoch, who I almost married, had I not chickened out. And I did that video of what happened there. And my servant Hiram take their journey unto the place by way of Detroit. So he was a missionary. So there you have it. My servant Hiram Smith, and unto my servant Reynolds Calhoun, united in the ministry. He was not put. It wasn't organized until. See, here we need to find out. My servant Thomas B. Marsh, he was the president in the Missionary 12. And so Hiram Smith, Sylvester Smith, Eden Smith. Where's William? Is William not old enough yet? Because William was put in the Missionary 12 at one point in time. Because it's not in 102, it would be 107. Section 103. Yeah, he's missionary. Not in any administrative position. Yeah, here we go. That thou mayest be my servant to unlock the door of the kingdom in all places where my servant Joseph and my servant Sidney and my servant Hiram cannot come. Verily I say unto you, Thomas. Is that Thomas B. Marsh? Can't tell. As pertaining to the 12. Yeah. So this is missionaries. And so Hiram is removed in section 112 from being a missionary. And let's see what date. 1837. Oh, so that's before 41. Interesting. So the 12 are to send the gospel and raise the warning voice to all nations and people. And Hiram is removed at this point in 1837. Interessante. And so, let's see. It's 124? Because it's after Joseph is... Hiram Smith is called to be a patriarch. William Law and others counseled in their labors. General and local officers are named. So 123 it begins. So this is 1841. Hiram is a patriarch. Okay, and 127. I give unto you my servant Brigham Young to be a president over the 12 traveling council. He'd already been appointed by the traveling 12 when they kicked out Thomas B. Marsh in 1838, and then excommunicated him on what day? 17th of March. A famous or infamous, depending on which office you're referring to, whether it be temple dedications or women's restoration of priesthood power and authority, or the excommunication of Thomas B. Marsh by Brigham Young, not the administrative 12. Which 12 hold the keys to open up the authority of my kingdom. Did you catch it? Peter, James, and John are only to be missionaries, to open up the authority of my kingdom upon the four quarters of the earth. And they are Heber C. Kimball, Parley P. Pratt, Orson Hyde, William Smith. See here, William gets put in place of Hiram. So something happened between 1837 and 1841 when we see here that William Smith gets put in place of Hiram. And then here we have Willard Richards and John Taylor. John Taylor, right? John Taylor. Yeah, there it is. I saw John E. Page and I got confused. John Taylor is before listing of John E. Page. And so, yeah, the two who just happened to be in Carthage jail when Joseph and Hiram were assassinated. Did you know that when they kicked out Thomas B. Marsh, they also kicked out and excommunicated William Smith? So William Smith was put in 1838. And so, yeah, it seems like 1837 is when Hiram got replaced with William, because Brigham didn't want William in there. And then when Joseph got out of prison for being wrongfully accused because of the Danites of Brigham Young causing crime in the surrounding neighborhoods, Joseph had William Smith put back in the Missionary 12 and condemned the 12 for being Judas. But Brigham Young didn't put those in his Doctrine and Covenants after Joseph was assassinated. I guess he didn't consider them revelation. So that took too long. I guess I'm only going to be able to watch one episode. Oh well. So yeah, Joseph Smith Sr. was a prophet, seer, revelator. And I gave you clues as to what he was doing. He's the Lord. And yes, he was a part of the publication of the Book of Mormon and the writing and composition of it, working with Sidney Rigdon. Because you notice Sidney Rigdon instantly becomes a counselor, instantly is with Joseph Smith the whole time. They're like bestest of buddies. And then you have Senior, who's a prophet, seer, revelator with Joseph. Why is Hiram left out to be a missionary? You'll have to watch the other videos where I talk about Hiram being a Freemason in the York Rites Lodge in Palmyra, and so he didn't get to go with Daddy down to Canandaigua, New York, to learn of William Morgan and then work with Sidney Rigdon to send Joseph into Harmony north of Pittsburgh.